ConnectForth, the radio forum for students.
FVC, the place to relax and enjoy contemporary cuisine. The Bistro is Forth Valley College's own cutting-edge dining experience located on the Rapport campus. Open every weekday from 9 till 4. Come sit down with us and enjoy a hot cup of coffee with a selection of delicious pastries and confectionery delights. If you're feeling peckish, join us for breakfast in the morning or a delicious lunch in the afternoon. The Bistro is also open till 6 on Wednesdays, where we host a carvery from free featuring a variety of premium meats. For reservations, please call 01786 272 318 or email us at bistro@forthvalley.ac.uk. FVC, the place to be.
ConnectForth feature.
Welcome to Haunted Stirling, part of the ConnectForth Paranormal series. I'm Melanie Lewis, and today I will be exploring some of Stirling's most haunted locations. Tourists flock to Stirling every year to visit the top destinations such as the castle. This would seem like an obvious location for paranormal activity, but what the average tourist doesn't know is that perhaps the most haunted location in Stirling is the modern shopping centre in the heart of the city. The new shopping mall, known as the Thistle Shopping Centre, may be an unlikely location for hauntings to occur, but what the average visitor to the centre doesn't know is that beneath the busy modern shopping mall lies the ruins of an ancient prison known as the Bastion. Only a small portion of this prison remains, and visitors are free to venture down at their own risk, but it's the nearby shop and cafe workers who have experienced some truly terrifying paranormal activity.
Sometimes when I've been downstairs in the stockroom, I've seen shadows at the corner of my eye, and my colleagues have as well. A lot of the time I feel quite uncomfortable down there. I feel there's a presence down there. Most of my employees have reported some strange activity. They've noticed shadows, uneasy feelings, a change in the atmosphere as well.
Have any of the paranormal experiences ever resulted in staff members voicing concerns or ever leaving their position?
Despite their activity here, none of the staff have left because of it. No one's ever felt threatened or endangered. We had a huge delivery one day. I had to stay on to put it all away and process it, and I was downstairs in the stockroom at the time, and I remember hearing a really creepy laugh, and I just remember feeling so scared that I just had to run out of the shop right then. The laughter I heard was definitely either a young girl or boys. You can just tell because it was quite a playful sort of laugh. I've never heard the laughter before, and I've never heard the laughter again.
This shop is not the only one to have experienced this strange childish laughter. One of the most popular coffee shops in the Thistle Shopping Centre has reported similar goings-on. In the toilets of the cafe, this childlike laughter is heard frequently by members of staff and customers, but perhaps a more interesting phenomenon apparent in this cafe is the constant disappearing and reappearing of objects. Important keys have been reported missing and searched for everywhere, only for them to turn up somewhere totally obvious. Day-to-day coffee cups, plates and cutlery goes missing and reappear randomly days later. Could the childlike laughter and the disappearing items be somehow connected? Could this be a playful spirit of a child amusing itself? If they are connected, this type of haunting would be known as an intelligent haunting. This means that the spirit can interact with people and the environment it surrounds. These types of hauntings are rarer. It could also be a residual haunting. If the laughter is not connected to the missing objects, this simply means that the spirit is repeating an event that has already transpired in their lives. This event is usually of high importance when energy levels are highest. This energy is said to be restored in the surrounding area and played back like video. This kind of activity is expected down below where it is quieter and isolated, and perhaps the human mind has some part to play in all of these reports. Sometimes our eyes can play tricks on us, and we see shadows that are in fact easily explained. We can hear sounds that may also be something normal, not paranormal. But what about on top, where the modern shops lie and bustling crowds venture every day? Surely with so many people in the area every day, and with the modern interior, this setting would never be thought to be haunted. Security guards patrol the centre day and night, and many security guards on night shift have reported seeing a woman watching them. However, one particular night, a security guard on patrol is said to have had a terrifying and violent encounter. And what's more is that the whole incident was apparently caught on security cameras over the shopping centre. It supposedly shows the security guard involved being dragged from one side of the centre all the way over to the other. The security guard was unable to fight off the unseen force, and the footage is now said to be locked up safely in the security office of the Thistle shopping centre. Unfortunately, no one is allowed access to this footage. The ConnectForth paranormal team decided to investigate these claims. Myself, Morgan McLean and Aileen Young ventured down into the remains of the Bastien prison. It's really dark down here, and it's really cold. Shall we do some calling out? Is there anyone here with us? What's your name? Shh, shh, shh. I thought I heard something, but I don't know if it was just an echo. Were you in prison down here? Did you commit a crime? Why were you here?
Did you die here? Did you have any family? I feel really cold. And it's roasting outside as well. It's weird, I don't like it. What's going on?
The main method of investigation we're using in this case is recording. We're trying to pick up an electronic voice phenomenon. Sometimes we don't hear these voices while we're doing the investigation, but after analysing the data, we may find some voices were picked up by the recorder. Do you want to talk to us? Are you a boy or a girl? How old were you when you died? Do you know you're dead? How many are there of you? So Aileen, how did you feel when you were down there?
I just felt really weird and strange, like I thought I seen something but I'm really not sure. It's a shame I didn't have my camera with me because we could have found out maybe if there was anything there. So weird, I don't want to go back.
I know it's horrible, and to think it's just under the shopping centre as well.
Yeah, that freaks me out more now. I don't want to do it. I don't want to be in Thistle Centre anymore.
When I first went down, I felt really uncomfortable. It's dark, it's cold, it's echoey, you can hear everything. But when I settled down a bit and relaxed into the atmosphere, it wasn't so bad. And I have to say I didn't see anything, I didn't feel anything other than feeling uncomfortable, but I can only put that down to external factors. The ConnectForth team decided, after the investigation, that nothing paranormal happened during the time we spent here. However, this investigation does not disprove the other eyewitness testimonies. The Thistle Centre promised so much, but when the ConnectForth paranormal team went to investigate, nothing out of the ordinary was reported. This has been Melanie Lewis for ConnectForth's Paranormal series. Keeping you connected with the paranormal.
ConnectForth feature.
Come down to your local View Cinema, where you're always guaranteed a high quality service. View Cinemas offer the latest releases for customers of all ages. View Cinemas also offer a range of drinks and snacks for your delight. View Cinemas offer competitive ticket prices: £6.90 for adults, £5.20 for kids, £4.30 for students, and £20.80 for a family of four. And for just an extra £1.50 per ticket, you can enjoy selected movies in eye-catching 3D. For more information on prices and movie showings, visit www.myview.com.
ConnectForth feature.
Hello, and welcome to ConnectForth's Haunted Falkirk, as part of the ConnectForth's Paranormal series. My name is Aileen Young, and I will be taking you on this journey through the history of Bowness Hippodrome. This will then lead into an investigation which will be carried out by the ConnectForth Ghost team. To begin with, I will take you through a brief history of the Hippodrome. Bowness Hippodrome was opened in 1912, thus making it Scotland's oldest purpose-built cinema. After many years of being left derelict, the cinema was renovated and reopened to the public in 2009. The cinema was updated with new 21st century technology and new seats were put in. However, some heritage seats were left and the pre-art decor of the 1926 was kept for the public to see how it looked back then. We went along to get a feel of the place. Have you ever seen or felt anything whilst working here?
We talk about, we joke about Louis Dixon looking over at us to make sure we're not doing anything that we shouldn't. And it is a bit of an old building. If you come in here by yourself, you do sometimes hear the odd noise, but paranormal? Nah, not really. But it's just a characterful building, and you can, the doors creak and, little noises when you're here by yourself, which we often are. And, but no, we laugh at the thought of Louis Dixon making sure we're keeping everything all right. Initially, this little part of the foyer behind that poster thing there used to be a sweetie shop in that little corner, and there was an old lady who used to get in through the back to me door. Fearsome old lady, I believe. Certainly a legend who sat in that little corner and sold the sweets. The whole idea behind the building becoming what it always was, which was a cinema. The architect was given a brief that he could restore as much as it was possible to restore. Whatever needed to be replaced would be replaced with something that was appropriate to the building. And when they started, there wasn't much. Then this part and the stairs and up to the office there are pretty well original. That bit is modern as it shows. Mm-hmm. But all this nice panelling came out of a ship. Mm-hmm. There used to be a shipbreaking yard in Bowness. And there's lots of houses and places in Bowness that have got things that came out of ships. And this panelling apparently came out of the ship. When they started the refurb, literally downstairs didn't exist. The basement was below sea level, There's a little basement under the stage, and that had a pump in it, which kept the water down. Of course, when the power went off, the pump went off. But when it came to redo it, first of all, they had to make space for catering, for disabled toilet, all that sort of stuff, and that's what these, what they call the pods at the back here. Originally, the seating would have gone right back to the back wall. On the platform, it used to seat originally 600 people. Although I think the ones at the front all sat on benches, but so it said on the plan 600 people.
Wow.
Current capacity is a lot less than that. So all of this downstairs is new. Slightly new seating, these seats are new. The stage has been extended forward. There's a huge soundproof wall behind the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Because literally people live up there. There's people live literally through the wall. So there's this huge baffle to keep the sound in. Well, it is one of a kind because as far as we're aware, it's the only circular cinema in the world.
Mm. That's amazing.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
You know, it's as far as we know, I certainly don't know of another one.
Uh-huh.
So it was great that eventually they managed to save it. Because they couldn't knock it down. They weren't allowed to knock it down because it was it's a listed building. So they had to end up doing something with it. It took a long time. And they eventually came full circle. There were many different ideas they had for the building before somebody said, and a little lamp went on somewhere and they said, look, it's a cinema. Let's leave it as a cinema. Very unfashionable to, at the time this was being talked about, to have a one-screen cinema. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But thank goodness somebody finally made a decision to keep it.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll take you up to Wagon Lane. Little office in there, but decided to deliver the boxes. Through this door, any pretense of comfort disappears. Servants' quarter. Follow me up the stairs with me. Just be careful because of.
It's tiny.
Probably upset because the cord line going up.
Okay. Wow.
This is mission control.
Wow. That's so cool. I've never been in a projection room before.
Yeah. This machine here runs film, proper film.
Mm-hmm.
And this machine here is digital.
Okay. So this is how it would be done in, like, I don't know, multiplex cinemas and that? Yeah.
Although multiplexes with a recently used to dozens of these things. They threw them all out and went to them. Sadly. We don't get to use this often. Last time I used it was during the Silent Film Festival. Around some proper film. But it's nice to get a chance.
Yeah. And you've still got that, so you can do
We still
that.
got it.
Yeah.
We still have the facilities to do it. That rather uninteresting black box is stuffed with electronics.
Yeah, it looks it. It looks very complicated.
Okay, that's it. That's slider. Control the lights. Watch the screen.
Oh yeah, is it? That's so cool.
The real sign of cinema is that running.
Yeah.
It's not set up today. But when we were doing the festival, we got good interviews for the BBC, for TV and for radio, and we all wanted to have this thing on. The cameraman was absolutely desperate to get up here, take pictures of it running, with film running through it, and the sound and that great sound.
Yeah.
Because I seemed to not want to sleep, I wanted to have a small investigation after hours. I asked the staff if it was possible for the three of us to have a couple of hours in the Hippodrome alone, but we didn't want to make anything that might be in the Hippodrome angry. After getting the go-ahead from the staff and setting up the technology we would be using, which was a camera and 2 recorders, this was done with our own equipment and was done at our own risk. The evidence that the technology would have picked up was looked at the following day. Who are you? Where are you from? Do you like coming here? How did you die?
How many of you are here?
What was the last film you came to see? Did you like the last film you came to see? Do you like the way the cinema is now? Do you want to be left alone? Knock twice if you want to be left alone. Do you want to talk to us? Knock once. Where is your favourite place to sit in here? Do you sit and watch the films that are played here now? Were you a projectionist here? Or were you somebody that liked to come and sit in the audience? Are you the woman from the sweetie shop that we heard about? If you're a wee one, what kind of sweeties did you like?
What's your favourite film?
After carrying out an investigation and checking all the evidence which we were left with, we decided that it was not concrete. Therefore, in our personal opinions, we don't think Bowness Hippodrome has anything paranormal happening. Thank you for listening.
ConnectForth feature.
Come down to Cineworld for the ultimate film experience. Grab some popcorn, a drink, and kick back and relax. Cineworld is dedicated to bringing you the hottest new releases, and with great student discounts, there's never been a better time to go to the cinema. Find us at Central Retail Park, Falkirk. And don't forget about Bargain Tuesdays. Any ticket, anytime, only £5.80. Or pay monthly for our unlimited card to enjoy as many films as you want. Check out more at cineworld.co.uk.
ConnectForth feature.
Hello, you're listening to ConnectForth and this is Morgan McLean. Welcome to Haunted Alloa, the third part of ConnectForth's paranormal series. In today's show, I will take you away on a trip to Erie Alloa and tell you exactly what paranormal happenings have occurred there in the past. So sit back, relax and join me in my ghostly encounter as I go and visit the Alloa Tower.
ConnectForth feature.
The Alloa Tower is Alloa's oldest building and dates back to around 1368. It was built by the Erskine family in order to guard the River Forth ferry. I'm now approaching the front entrance to the Alloa Tower and can feel just how eerie this place is. I actually have goosebumps. I'm going to speak to a Mrs. Mary MacDonald who works within the tower itself and I'll be asking her a few questions. Hi Mary, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. What about yourself?
Yeah, I'm great, thank you. I'm excited to find out some information about this amazing tower and hear some of the great stories behind it. So what is it that you do inside the tower?
I'm actually a tour guide of the tower. My job is to take anyone who wishes to visit the tower around inside and explain to them the history behind every room. The first place that I show them is the dungeon. It's a very cramped chamber with no windows and just a very small opening. It's not for the faint-hearted. I then take them up to the sweeping staircase to admire the 18th century additions of the Great Hall and stop to look at the display cases showcasing a selection of items from the Earl of Mar's personal collection, which are changed every few months. They are then taken to the solar room, which is probably the tower's most atmospheric space. It's filled with exposed stonework and a stunning timber ceiling, one of the few still present in Scotland today. There are many things to take in whilst walking around inside of the tower. I'd recommend it to anyone who hasn't been before.
I'm sure after hearing this, a lot of people will be interested in visiting the tower. Now, I've heard a few stories about people witnessing a ghostly figure of a maid who apparently guards a crib. Do you know anything about this?
Yes, I've heard a lot about this. Many times when people have been inside the tower, they've claimed to have seen a woman standing in maid-like clothing with her hand resting on something that appears to be a crib. This has caused many people to come out shaken and in disbelief. We've tried to look into this and find out more information about who the maid could be, but we've not managed to find anything just yet.
So have you encountered anything yourself?
I haven't seen the maid that other people are said to have witnessed, but I have felt a strange presence on a few occasions, as though someone is standing beside me. This has happened a few times while standing at the top of the staircase. I've also felt the air in the dungeon go from normal temperature to freezing cold very quickly. There were no windows to cause this quick change, which then made me feel very uneasy and slightly scared as to what was in the room with me.
I don't know what I would do if I was in that situation. I don't know if I'd either be excited that I might be witnessing the paranormal or terrified of exactly what is in there with me. Thanks very much for all of your information that you've given myself and the audience today. It's been amazing speaking to you.
No problem at all.
I'm sure that you'll have many people lined up at the door of the tower after hearing this interview.
ConnectForth feature.
Whilst in Alloa, I thought it would be a great idea to go around and ask the locals if they had experienced any ghostly encounters firsthand. This is some of the reactions that I got. So have you ever encountered any paranormal experiences?
No, I haven't. I don't really believe in any of that stuff, to be honest.
One time when we were down in the Edinburgh dungeons, we were getting told this story about a little boy that lost a ball. And as we were getting told the story, I felt a breeze in the back of my neck, and I thought it was someone just blowing on my neck or tickling my neck. When I turned round, there was no one there, and to this day I'm convinced there was something there that wasn't natural.
Well, you see, I live in an old house that the previous owner died in, but it didn't really bother me at the time. But there was one night when I woke up and I could swear that I seen a shadow at the end of my bed, and it really freaked me out.
This is just 3 of the many responses that I got, but the 2 that I've chosen really do make your hair stand on end.
ConnectForth feature.
As you are already aware, the Alloa Tower is apparently extremely haunted. A team of paranormal investigators heard word of this and decided that they would come and investigate the tower itself. I'm now going to meet with a man named Derek Green, who was the investigation coordinator, and we'll ask him exactly what happened on that frightful night.
I'm part of an organisation called the Ghost Club. The club was founded in 1862 and is the oldest organisation in the world associated with physical research. We focus on paranormal phenomena associated with ghosts and hauntings.
So how exactly did you find out about the Alloa Tower?
Well, we've got a website set up that allows our fans and followers to interact with us. Through this, we have received a few requests from people asking us if the Alloa Tower was haunted. Of course we didn't know, so my team thought it would be a great idea to check it out.
So what exactly happened with the investigation that yourself and your team carried out?
We began recording at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We set up our different equipment, the laser thermometer sensors, EMF sensors, browsing rods, battery data logger, pendulum, and of course the cameras. Many of us that took part in the investigation all felt strange feelings whilst being in the tower. One thing that we caught on camera was when Joan was walking up the stairwell. Whilst using her pendulum, she asked, "Is anyone there?" The pendulum then started swinging back and forth through to indicate yes. We began recording at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We set up our different equipment, the laser thermometer sensors, EMF sensors, browsing rods, battery data logger, pendulum, and of course the cameras. Many of us that took part in the investigation all felt strange feelings whilst being in the tower. One thing that we caught on camera was when Joan was walking up the stairwell. Whilst using her pendulum, she asked, "Is anyone there?" The pendulum started swinging back and forth as though to indicate yes. Joan then asked for the spirit to change direction. It started swinging in a clockwise motion. Joan then commented that just before she had felt as though someone had walked up behind her. Another one of the members of the team, Colin, began to take photographs of the bottom of the stairwell. When we looked back at these stills, there was very large solid orbs present in most of them.
I'm getting goosebumps just speaking about this. So did you feel scared in any way, or did you feel worried at all?
I didn't feel worried or scared really. More excited as we were there hoping to come back with answers for our followers. The only point that I felt a little uncomfortable, personally, was when I entered the solar room. The temperature very suddenly dropped around me. I then felt as though someone was standing right in front of my face. I could sense anger in the room. This made me feel uncomfortable, as I felt as though I wasn't wanted. This is the only time the hairs on the back of my neck had stood on end. Although it was a bit uncomfortable, it was still a great experience to have felt.
I'm glad that you enjoy what you do so much. Thanks very much for your time today.
No problem, Morgan.
If you would like to find out more about the Ghost Club or their investigation into the Alloa Tower, then log on to www.ghostclub.org.uk. That's www.ghostclub.org.uk. Well, that's the end of our ConnectForth 3-part paranormal series. I hope you have enjoyed all of our stories and that it will maybe encourage you to look further into the paranormal happenings in your area.
ConnectForth feature.
Exams and final assessments are now looming large. Waterstones have a great selection of books to help you over the line. Situated at the Marches Centre, Stirling, and High Street, Falkirk, Waterstones is open 7 days a week from 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Monday to Friday and 11 to 5 p.m. on Sundays. The Stirling branch is also open till 8 p.m. on Thursdays. Students get a 10% discount on purchases of £25 or more in association with Unidays. Simply go on to www.waterstones.com or myunidays.com to receive your unique discount code and order your books. It's free delivery to all UK addresses and the order is dispatched within 24 hours. For leisure time after all that hard work, Waterstones have a great selection of books for all genres. Thrillers, fantasy and sci-fi books are available for as little as £5.59. So for all your leisure reading or studies, get to Waterstones.
ConnectForth Special.
Some movie plots are just too good to only be told once. Hello and welcome to this week's ConnectForth Special, where we're looking at the top 5 movie remakes. And sadly, this list does not include any sequels or prequels, as these are technically not remakes, no matter how much time has passed between the original and the new. Kicking off our list is number 5, The Ring. This is a remake of a Japanese original film, Ringu, made in 1998. It is a Hollywood take on the classic horror film. Hollywood has taken on the style of remaking classics over the last 30 years. Most of the films usually struggle if they're originally American, so the new wave of remaking foreign films has become unbelievably successful. The 2002 remake outdoes its creepy original by introducing a cursed little girl with a videotape to the American audience. It offers a more coherent plot coupled with the dramatic, terrifying effects and also scary jump scares, including the little girl. And also, if you get a mention in the scary movie franchise, you know you've done well. Number 4 on our list is True Grit. One of the best movies ever made, the Coen brothers had a struggle on their hands when they decided to take on True Grit for the 2010 remake. Like its namesake, the remake focuses on a young woman's tale for justice, focusing closely on her emotions and what she goes through. Keeping with the original story benefits the film greatly, with a fantastic performance from Jeff Bridges as the one-eyed cowboy rooster, scarily enough even beating the classic John Wayne's performance. This is a film everybody should see. Now, number 3 is a little controversial, as many critics argue over if it's an amazing remake or one of the worst. Number 3 is King Kong. The Peter Jackson remake was highly critically acclaimed by many critics, citing that the film's technological advancements made for a great remake, whereas others said it completely destroyed the whole tone of King Kong, ruining the actual creature. Many critics do agree that it was due for a remake and that it is a brilliant film. However, the CGI allows for the true emotion of the beast to be captured, creating, I think, a heart-wrenching story, which the audience can relate to. Overall, with mixed reviews coming from different technological advancements, and the true emotion of the beast being shown through, that coupled with terrible casting, including Jack Black's character, makes for this to be a very iffy remake. However, it has earned a well-deserved spot on this list. Number 2, Ocean's 11. Now, there's no way that taking on a remake of a project that originally contained not only Frank Sinatra, but also Dean Martin and Sammy Davis Jr. wasn't going to be hard, but the story is just too good not to be rehashed. It isn't enough that George Clooney, Brad Pitt, Matt Damon and their merry band of grifters made the entire Vegas heist production seem like an adult summer camp, letting them play in the big city. But no, Clooney also has to get the girl of his dreams, Julia Roberts. This repeat has fantastic painful character history, conveyed in just a handful of scenes, masterfully directed by Steven Soderbergh, overall providing the perfect dose of depth.
So before we get to our number one spot, there's a few honourable mentions for the worst remakes ever. These are our top 5 for the worst. The Nightmare on Elm Street remake of 2010, The Day the Earth Stood Still 2008, the RoboCop remake 2014, Footloose 2011, and of course The Longest Yard 2005.
Shut up!
Also, a few other remakes that just narrowly missed out a spot on the list include The Fly 1986, Dawn of the Dead 2004, The 3:10 to Yuma 2007, and of course the 60s classic Magnificent Seven. Now, number 1 on our list is John Carpenter's cult classic The Thing. It's probably the best remake ever made, as it closely resembles Howard Hawks' Cold War era masterpiece, but the gruesome special effects help it add a welcome dose of horror to the original's eerie paranoia. It's more grimier and terrifying than the 1950s take. The Thing is a tense sci-fi thriller that has compelling tension, and it also has some amazing makeup effects. If we try to imagine the terrified moviegoer who errantly walks into The Thing instead of E.T., the moviegoer's childhood would be destroyed with this amazing remake of the 1951 scare flick, thus making it one of the best remakes ever. So if you agree or disagree with anything on our list, just contact us or leave a little message on our Facebook page. Just type in ConnectForth on Facebook and you'll find us. I've been your host, Louise Matchett, and this was your ConnectForth special.
ConnectForth Special. ConnectForth, the radio forum for students.